solamente va a traer un PowerPoint. aula magna, si me dicen está libre, botoncito y me transmitimos.
El ruido no le molesta. Ya, pero el problema es... Si alguno lo queréis ver en el aula magna, se va a ver lo mismo que aquí. Lo vamos a retransmitir al aula magna. Sí, sí, vale. Buenas.
Hi, USB keys, or how do we do? I can't put my computer also.
Okay.
Do you have something to move? Here, from that side. Here.
Se va a mover mucho.
Will you move or will you speak from?
I will move.
Always.
Yeah. I cannot sit. If I sit, I become nervous.
It's for the microphone.
Yeah, thank you.
No, espera. Espérate que tengo que... Bueno, Hilde, te voy a hacer el cambio de fuente. Un momento.
Yeah. Take away.
Sí, ya.
No. I don't want to be seen.
Déjame el mano.
Okay.
Espera.
Wait a moment, please. Okay.
Ich wollte Bescheid sagen, man sieht alles. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
This is the microphone because if you will move, it's better.
Está en mute.
It's silence.
It's mute.
No,
Yeah,
no,
okay.
se lo dejo encendido, ya está. ¿Habla?
Hi. Hello.
Yeah, okay.
It's good?
Of course.
Huh? Yes, I need
No, a él no lo mueve. Laura, Marta, a él no lo puedes mover, él es Ico. Él es Ico. A ellos, no, deja a ellos dos.
Yes.
No, Marta, no lo muevas.
Okay. Very
If you
good.
want to move around,
Yeah.
you are wide.
A él no lo puedes mover.
Okay. Good.
Vale, perfecto. Pues. Con tres sitios. Vale, perfecto. Ya está preparado.
Okay.
Francis,
I'm ready.
¿es posible?
Wait.
Hola. Hola, buenos días. Me encanta ver el salón de actos así y probablemente las 2 o 3 aulas más que lo deban de estar siguiendo esto en una pantalla. Pero es hoy un día muy especial para la escuela porque recibimos a Francis Keré. no solamente es uno de los proyectistas más interesantes que hay en todo el panorama internacional, sino de aquellos arquitectos que han entendido perfectamente lo que es la sostenibilidad y lo que es entender la arquitectura y partir de la arquitectura con las condiciones tradicionales. Cómo se pueden transformar los sistemas constructivos de la arquitectura vernácula y se pueden transformar en arquitectura más rabiosamente contemporánea. Cómo la creatividad siempre va completamente de la mano de lo que es saber construir y saber qué es lo que se debe de construir en cada momento y cuáles son los principios que se deben de aplicar. Yo creo que es la gran lección que puede en estos momentos recibir la escuela, una de las mayores lecciones que puede recibir la escuela. Le estoy muy agradecido a Luis Fernández Galiano, como siempre, por hacer esto posible. Y hoy tenemos, además, alguien muy especial entre nosotros. Tenemos a Gloria Peñafiel, la nueva directora de la Fundación de ICO, que ha traído la exposición de Keré, se inaugura hoy. Os recomiendo a todos que vayáis, sobre todo cuando Jesús San Vicente, Antonio Vela y todo su equipo de estudiantes han estado interviniendo y fabricando el pisé, fabricando parte de esos muros de tierra que están dentro de la fundación. La escuela ha estado implicada. Jesús, Antonio, muchísimas gracias por toda la contribución que habéis tenido en este proyecto. Es para mí un honor no solamente presentar a Francis Keré, sino presentar a Gloria y pedirle, por favor, que nos dirija unas palabras a la escuela.
Muchísimas gracias. Acabo de venir de la rueda de prensa de Francis Keré y me sentía muy contenta de presentar un proyecto que para la Fundación ICO muchos de vosotros conoceréis, el Museo ICO. Tienen entre su programación expositiva tiene la arquitectura, pero no solo la arquitectura como disciplina artística, sino la arquitectura como materia cultural, como materia social. Y en ese sentido, con Francis Keré hemos encontrado la combinación perfecta. Y nos halagó muchísimo que viniera. Nos ha supuesto un esfuerzo importante, no solamente de proyecto ambicioso. Yo recomiendo que os acerquéis porque hay un reto técnico importante también en la exposición de la que habéis colaborado. Supongo que estáis por aquí, los que yo he estado viendo durante estos días llenos de adobe y algunos estaban hasta descalzos haciendo el muro porque ahí no había manera de manejar aquello y ha sido una experiencia estupenda para la Fundación ICO. Además, en esta programación expositiva con la arquitectura nos es muy deseable la comunicación con la universidad. Nosotros tenemos, nuestro proyecto es la investigación y la difusión de la arquitectura y por tanto aquí estáis los grandes artífices de que deberíais de pasar por allí, deberíais de vivir aquello, incluso en un futuro pues seríais los que nos daréis contenido a lo que tengamos por allí, ¿no? Yo estoy encantada de conoceros, pero lo importante es que ahora oigáis a este personaje que estamos seguros que es un personaje celebérrimo más que célebre y que a todos nos ha dejado fascinados con con su integridad, dos, con su naturalidad y tres, con su buen hacer. Porque si hay algo que este artista tiene, yo le llamo artista también, no sé si se debe decir ese artista aquí o no, es una integridad y de verdad creer en lo que está haciendo y de verdad mandar un mensaje que ahora comprenderéis con lo que estoy intentando transmitiros. Muchísimas gracias por darme la oportunidad de presentar a la Fundación ICO y a vuestra disposición el museo y esperamos veros a todos por allí.
Gracias. Luis, ¿quieres?
Brevísimamente, solamente decir que Francis habla 4 idiomas, habla burkinés, francés, alemán e inglés. Hoy hablará en inglés, no sabe aún castellano, pero está en trámites de aprenderlo. Ha tenido una relación muy estrecha con este país desde hace 10 años, cuando hizo su primera exposición en Zaragoza, en el 2008, y su primera conferencia en Reina Sofía. Así que llevamos ya 10 años de colaboraciones y amistad, y solamente os recordaré algo, y es que su nombre tribal es Dievedó, que significa el que viene a arreglar las cosas. Así que, Francis.
Thank you. Hola, can you hear me? Okay. So, it's always not easy to start a lecture, and if you have people that you know sitting, and listening to you. I said a couple of seconds before that I am not the intellectual one. I just make things. So, but if I have to speak to a student, and I was one student, it's always not easy. It's not a show, and then to have Luis that I count as a mentor of myself sitting in front, you don't know what to say because you want to do it right. You want to just share your enthusiasm, but you have, okay, I have to be careful. Maybe it's not strong enough. And then you have people from your office, which make it complicated. If you flow, they may say, oh, you forget a detail. So this is where I am today. And before I forget, I have to say to the team that helped Monsieur Iko and my team to build these fantastic walls, thank you. So, are they here? So, thank you. Luis, thank you again. So I have to say thank you to the director to let this happening, and then to Museo Iko to allow me to have an exhibition here in Madrid. By the way, this is my second time to be here. And what I will do, I know it's not easy, I will just show you what I'm doing. Finito. You will see few drawings, but a lot of process pictures. So, it's good now? It's okay? Good. I believe in education, and I love this picture. It's called The Dwarf Standing on the Shoulder of Giant. So it's talking about researchers, scientists being successful by learning from previous discovery. Celebrating those that pave, so the way for them to be successful. So, but the question I am asking you, or I'm trying to let you know, is what is if you came from a culture like I am coming from, where knowledge is orally transmitted, where nothing is written down, and where knowledge is passed through music. So the big problem is it may be mistranslated. So what is about architecture in a place like this, where a young man must walk after his father or grandfather to learn how he's making things, and later to be able to do it himself, or a young girl doing the same. So this is the culture where I'm coming from. This is my village. So I have people that can confirm. Jaime and Andrea are here to say it's true. It's the compound of Francis. And if you go with students, they will sleep in the middle of it. What you can see is something very strong, very traditional. What you can see here is an attempt at the colonial time to just transform this structure into something modern. So in terms of architecture, modern architecture, my country is focused to the West, to your culture. And the biggest problem is not you here in this room. So because we share the same goals, the biggest problem to do architecture in this place or to grow is your pressure, the pressure you give. You don't give these people the time to breathe, to invent, And after you is China, that came with a lot of power and innovation. They want to enter and then work to develop something individual is not easy. And the politics says there is no hope in Africa. It's poor. It's full of corruption. So these are challenges if you have to work there. So what you will see is an attempt to swim and then to do something different. So here, a structure. Now we keep replicating that what we got. At the colonial time, they do the best to try to coordinate. And then that is what we do today. We keep using this structure, and we're building cities that are like huge carpets. And the problem, these carpets are eating the land that you need to grow food for the people. So this is a big problem. It's not a good solution. And as I told you, we are focused to the west. So so very clear. You can see the difference here. So one of the pictures is the Eiffel Tower. And then we needed to have our pendant in Burkina Faso. So the thing is, we are so weak, and we copy your way of life without knowing the background. The Eiffel Tower was built to demonstrate feasibility of engineering and steel. But we don't know that. We want to have a monument, so we build our one in Ouagadougou. So, and that is being weak. This is reality. This is how we transport goods, food, people. This is also, again, my own compound. Every time when I go to the village, I am looking to this picture. It didn't change. And that is how people build. They use clay. And clay, as you know, has a capacity, using humidity to change its characteristics. So if it's wet, so it may collapse. But if it's dry, it's okay. In the rainy season, people have to fix this housing. That's why they call these, bad, because it is no innovation. I'm watching this compound. If you build, there is no master plan. The master plan is in the head, because your grandfather or your grandmother will show you how to do. And the community came together and they build. And the compounds looks like so great. I like it. The colors are so different. Don't think that is a great composition. So if you finish the build, you have to protect the houses against the weather, against water. And you go to the little forest that we still have and look for a big plant that can give you enough material to protect the walls. So, because nature is not a factory, you cannot get the same color. And here is a strategy. Even in the village, this dark one is bitumized product. So people try to protect, and they try to find a way. They're going away from natural products. And you see what's happening. The compound is growing, and I will warn you, if you become a powerful professional one day, and they talk, and you have the responsibility to put an African village under UNESCO protection, tell them it is stupid. And if they don't believe you, tell them Francis said that. An African compound needs to grow and shrink where there is a necessity. If people die, it will shrink. So if people burn, they will break it and build it. That is how it works. And I have seen villages that have been put under UNESCO control, and I was watching, and as polite I tried to be, they ask me for advices. I look them and say, wow, UNESCO, very powerful. France is little, just building with mud, no power. Don't mix up. I just go, let them do. And then watching what's happening. So the water is destroying structure. So another thing that's happening now in Burkina, if you travel, you will see things like this. Transfert d'argent, RTL, it's about making publicity. If you put a big board to just do the advertisement, the wind will come and it will collapse because missing skills, or because the one that was supposed to do the board was thinking, wow, so much money for simply a board. Let me take a little bit out to nutrite my kids, which is legitimate. So the problem is rainy season, boom, collapse. And one started to paint a building. And everyone looked at, oh, the color is good. They should paint my compound. So if you go through Burkina, you will be shocked. Now it's even beer from Scandinavia. They do advertisement in the compound. People let them do because it protects the house against rain. So this is reality. This is my own reality. When I was in Gandu, I was watching. So the traditional houses are made out of straw. But when a fire comes, it can destroy a complete house with everything. Don't forget, people has no money, no bank. Everything that I have, they put it inside the compound. It's mostly cotton and textile. And if it goes away, it's finished. Here in this compound, really, the young man that was the head of the compound tried to jump into the fire, and I had to stop him. It cost me 6 years for my arm to heal because he was so strong. And I didn't know how I could just keep him away from jumping in because he was thinking his wife was still in the fire. So, and every time when they see him laughing, they say, you have to say thank you to Francis, he saved your life. So you wouldn't see your kids grow. So that is like a little story around. But the thing is, fire is destroying the transitional compound. That is the school in Burkina. That is the class inside. And that is an inspiration. If you go through Africa, you will see this. That is how people come together to fix an old mosque. And I love this picture. It shows the power of community. And what I wanted to do, learn from all of this, I wanted to do something very different. So, and I had to explain to my community that it's important to build with the resources we have, and even the people. So we started to build. You see this, the first school that we built, and you will see on the construction site we have, you will see a lot of people carrying stones, even old men, which is very important, and women, because an old man, an old person in Burkina Faso is a library. A couple of minutes ago, the director was talking about the library that was almost destroyed during the Second World War. And then soldiers saved these and brought the books to a monastery. In Africa, we don't have the books. If one older person died, then you lost everything. But for me, for my project, to have these old people backing me was so important to succeed. Normally, people will say nothing, they will help you. But then now, it's gonna be wrong. And then if you happen to do what I do, later they will tell you the truth. So what we was doing is to carry on the stone just to create the basement because it helps save money. So we have no money for concrete. So this is the school. And for the youngest here, the student, Jesus told me to just tell you, you have to believe in architecture. I believe in architecture. If you see these pictures, you will understand why. That is still a way, really. That is still a way. This is an example of another way. I was a student like you. I built this and I graduated 3 years later, really. I graduated first in 2004 because I won the Aga Khan Award and I was pushed to finish and go to get it, you know? Okay. So the good thing is the school is totally made out of clay from Gandu. Jaime, Andrea, even Linda could show you one day the way we got the clay. It's less than 300 meters from the construction site. And we use rebars, of course. And then what is great is to go today and see that the kids are using every corner of the building to study, to learn. So this is the class inside. And you remember, pick. You remember this side. That is the inside. And now you have the inside made out of clay bricks. So past and today. This is today in Gandu. And nowadays, I can tell you, even in Burkina, because you will see that we are building in many areas in Burkina Faso. So, but, dear colleague, how do you explain engineering, drawings, and architecture to people who are neither able to read nor write? Because that is the fact for the majority in Burkina. What we do very simple drawing, I started like this, and the section is already the building. In the section, you have everything. And then you will put a code with numbers to explain to the mason, the builder, at level 3, you have to put a rebars. At level 6, you have to put a piece of metal for the door lid. It's very simple. And then what we do is to do mock-up, very big mock-up, one by one. And then to make tests. So I will not jump today because I didn't sleep enough. But in reality, the one in the center is me. I would jump and stay in the front to show my people, look at, it worked. So, you know, it's like magic for them. But this magic can be learned, you know. And that is the difference. Engineering is magic. So let me add voodoo for my people. And if it worked, it's a great voodoo. So, and then we go over them. Just make buildings like this is an extension building, and that is inside. Very simple wall, double layer, made out of clay from Gandu. Some of these kids are already going to university. So, with this concept, we was very successful, or I was successful. Yeah, I didn't have a plan. I had, honestly speaking, a big heart for my community. And I would go to start. I want some of you to go, you know, on your place, in the village. You understand, Spain is not just made out of Madrid. Madrid has little community. You have to go and find your job. And that's what I did. And then, you know, people just ask me to do like this, is in Leo. And the good thing for me to tell you, those people building all of this was trained by myself, you know? And then the structure is growing, you see? So we took away some trees, hide some, and then we're extending with housing for doctors because all the structure we're building is like a process. So here I will try to go a little bit into details. Yeah, I'll do some drawings. That is a master plan. From no primary school to a primary school to an extension and now to a high school. So I raised money to do my project. So I have to tell it to you because you are like young colleague. When I started, there was a lot of rumor. Yeah, he may be corrupt. He wants to keep the money. The government is corrupt. I will take the money. Don't believe this establishment. Don't. Believe me. This is reality. So here we draw. And there was an idea to build now a high school. So that is an idea that you can read easily. So, and this time we didn't want to use the bricks. We wanted to pour clay, not rammed earth, no. To pour clay like you will do concrete. And then you make a lot of tests, many tests. To find the best recipe. If everything is clear, then we make a form. That is the form, and you see the result, right? So with the form, we need a couple of people to put it in place, and then you just go ahead and do it. So this is Amédée and Justin just mixing it. So it's manpower, because it's the best way to do it. Here you will use machine, because you have money, you have engines and everything. And this is part of the team we have in Gandu. And that is the process. So from this project that is still unfinished, but happily, we have now a great sponsor that say, you know, you cannot go around and build for many people and don't push your high school forward. I give you the money to finish. Now we have the money, and my problem is I have no time. So, because all of my team, like 300, are busy around Burkina Faso, and the neighboring country are waiting for us to join them. So we have in the office some people that are placed to push me to think about, for example, Gando. This is Alexandra. And she keeps asking, but shy, because she knows that I'm tired. I just work, but how to find the capacity? So I remember one great architect that told me he wanted to build his own house, and he has no money. Now he has money, but no time to build. In my case, I want to create building for my community, and I had no time to raise money. And now people give me money, but I'm busy doing projects for other people. So from this experience in Gando, so we learn from Gando, and if you ask me to build for you, I use the skills in Gando, I try to improve them. Now that we build a lot outside, we learn from outside and we bring back to Gando. You know, very easy, huh? I must be lucky. So we try to make the forum again. This time, we wanted to cast the entire building. It is a university now. And none have done this before. So concrete, you can do step by step. But clay, I don't know how. So we make a lot of tests. Making the angle to check how it will crack or not, and it doesn't. And then we made a huge forum. I love this picture. That is a little part of my team working, and they're busy working on this site. This client was pushing us to finish the university. We had less than 3 months, huh? 2, and Andrea is telling me 2 months, to just learn a process and finish. We have some crazy people that believe that we do miracles, but this time they give us money to make a forum. I am normally against the forum, but then we come across, we use this forum, and then we could just then keep building more than with this forum. And this is the result. The school will open in 4 days. It means after this celebration, I have to fly to Burkina and make sure that the students that are waiting have a classroom to stay. And this has happened all my life. That is the building now, completely cast, even 2 classes. If it's finished, the campus will look like this, and the classroom will it will even look better than this. This time, we want to use glass because it's a BIT, Burkina Institute of Technology, MIT, huh? So I was showing you this workup because I wanted just to be clear. I'm living here in the West. I work, I teach. I see there is a big tendency in Europe. And the problem is people are moving from their places because they're looking for better lives, and they're coming to the West. And there's a lot of conflict. And people talking too much. Populists are rising. I have a simple fear. I fear that they will push you to lose your humanity. So Europe has become a peaceful place because they've spent centuries to fight each other, and they realize there is no sense. Some spent centuries to discriminate people, and they realize there is no use. Now, my brothers and sisters are coming here because partially you spend your time to say your place is the best place to stay, which is true. But if you spend time to say Africa is not a good place, and every journalist will write it down, they will not do a report without talking war, corruption. So don't be worried that these young people that love Ronaldo and love FC Barcelona, and then the biggest, greatest, and my favorite in Madrid, that all these young people want to come to your place. So the fact is, what can we do? So if you see the work that I'm doing, it's a long process. And I happen to train these young people to just do. If I see this picture, is New York, symbol of economical growth and success, innovation, and the one down, that is the picture in Africa. That's what should be in our places. So instead that we copy you, you have to enable us to just build ourselves, our future. Then these young people will not come here. So that's why I tried to provoke and put these 2 pictures together to say that no one sees this work, but this work is the future. What I'm doing is to keeping these young people to come here without knowing it, with no plan. I didn't know about it. They stay home, they work all the year, they have a lot of money for their family. Why should I take a boat and die in the water coming to Spain? Why? And what you will help me to do, you have to help me that we say to these people that say Africa is a bad place, is not true. And you have to help us have their heroes that people believe in themselves. If they have to believe just in you, then they will come here. That is what I want to just put and show you what we do with these young people. We're digging a big hole. It will collect more than 1 million liter water. It's not a swimming pool. With this water, in the dry season, my people keep growing plants, trees that you can see. So this is Burkina. And now the project has become successful, and I'm asked to do some installation. I'm showing you this because those projects help them to have other projects. So I always have an inspiration how people live home. Here, women are gathering under the tree, talking about the day. So what happened yesterday, during the day. And it's also a kindergarten. And then we tried to use this to create a gathering space. That was in Louisiana. Using the cheapest wood that I have, cutting, putting bundle, and then create something like this. And to our surprise, you keep going, and some people show what you have done in another museum. They want to have something else. Okay, you go back and then think about inspiration. This is a Tuguna. Tuguna is a sort of iconic building in Africa. This is in Dogon land. And there, many activities can happen under the Tuguna. And it's really strong and simply done. We use this to create a sort of pavilion in Montana, in a huge desert. So using the most available wood, locally available, using nails and just wood, nothing more. And this will open, if everything goes well, I think in June, July next year. Yeah. So the site is bizarre. The only place where they have tree, they wanted us to do this there. All the other is like desert. So monumental. In a couple of days, I was laughing because Nina and Vincenzo that are working on the project just called me. And we was talking about the boundary of 8 centimeters in this huge landscape. The plot is more than 10,000 hectares. And there was 10 centimeters overlapping. I say, in this monumental landscape, they should not worry about 8 centimeters, you know? But that is how projects are surprising sometimes, but where you have the chance also to deal with landscape. So that is what we will use, and it's still in process. So one guy, a company will produce, guess how much? 50 times these elements. And this wood, if not we, they will use it to burn. So, or paper. And the paper people will check and throw them away. We said, okay, that is what we want. Even in the US, you should save money there. And that is how the sittings are. Here's Nina checking to show the client it's gonna work. In our work, we do a lot of mock-up. So because I don't know what we're drawing, I have to understand ourselves in the office, then we make a lot of mock-up just to understand what it is because we talk to a client. So let me bring you back to Burkina and go a little bit to construction details. That is a high school called Chorge. By the way, it's not Burkina name, no. It is Bavarian, Chorge, because the sponsor is coming from Bavaria. He lost his brother, and that is the nickname of his brother, that way. And even the people in Burkina have problem to pronounce it, not only you. Yeah. So here, drawings. Here we wanted to create a sort of compound so that the kids can stay in the center and relax. It has a lot of layers. And every time when we have a chance to do a new project, we want to innovate. Here, the innovation is just adding a wind tower to increase the ventilation inside the classes. It is in Koudougou, the third largest city in Burkina Faso. If you come to start to build in Burkina or somewhere in West Africa, you have to be careful. Land is a big issue. Land ownership is very difficult because sometimes land can be owned by many people. No one knows really. And here you have to use, to be patient. So I almost wanted to tell you the African way. normally I will go to look who is the oldest in the village. And within minutes, I will become his friend. And I will ask him, you have to tell me who belongs to this land. And then you have to tell me, you're going to protect me and my partner and my friends if a conflict arose. And this person can say, you are free, you can build. And sometimes it happened that we build, like in this site, we start to build, and suddenly I saw different team coming, and the last one was someone from France, a French, that arrived even with the camera team. Here I can say, what a shit. So the wall was almost that height, and if you see how hard it was to do this, and you see someone even coming with a TV, I get panic. And I have to go and check again with this older guy, and he told me, don't worry, don't worry, my grandson, don't worry. So we are looking to give him a new land. Don't worry, don't fear his camera. We give him this land for 30 years, and he's doing nothing. What he's doing is what we want to have, And so we keep building. Here is the story of the project. So on the shadow, checking the plans, and then using laterite. Laterite, if you go to the exhibition, you will see it, is a miracle, is like almost a miraculous stone. It is soft if you dig it, but if you get it out with the air, it's getting hard. So, but people, they use it for generations, but they reject it because it's not modern. What we do is to cut with the machine. Zzz. The cutting with the machine is modern. For my people, suddenly it is primitive. For them, primitive. Cheap construction material become a modern material. So we cut them, and we go, and you see the site is almost a desert, and there's the towers growing, and the number of visitors is increasing. Just to come and watch. So there is no electricity. If you start to do what we're doing, you attract old and young, because there is no TV. There is even no radio. But what we're doing is something new. This is the big performance, and people just come to watch. For we and my team and in Burkina or like even in Berlin, that is like giving you energy. You feel that you have something to give, And so another element we wanted to use is the eucalyptus wood. So that is how we bring it to the construction site. And it, again, creating a lot of jobs that I cannot describe to you. So this lady will use a stone to break other stone to earn money. Really hard work. Less than €5 a month, even less. And now, in our site, they will sit and polish the wood with the young boys, and in the months, I will not tell you how much they will earn. I don't want you to come and queue and want to be hired by my people. So, but you can come to help. So what I'm trying to tell you is, it's like creating jobs and trust. And so that is how we use the wood, using simple rebars. And in and outside, we just wrap them against a piece of rebars. And this is the facade. It is dry in Burkina. The temperature can be more than 60 degrees. So in a classroom, it is dry. There is no humidity. So it's not a good place to stay. So a window becomes more for us. What we do is to use the wood left over to create a bench and to protect the window. And then the kids will sit. And what's happening, if it's really, really dry, you put a bucket on the knee, you put water, and then because it's hot, the evaporation happening naturally, and then you can cool down the inside. Very simple. And the good thing is, if the bucket breaks, they don't need to wait for me to come and change. Even the kids, they will change it. Very simple. Yeah, but it's not finished if you design there. So it is dry. There is no trees. What we do is to plant trees. Look at what we do. This is already very late because it is already big. The thing and then it is a rainy season. That's why it's full of water. Normally it's really dry. What we do is drawing to explain, but it's to dig a hole. I think I forget to tell you that even today, life expectation in my place is far under 50. It means for you guys to just understand, most of your teachers wouldn't be anymore here to teach you. I'm sorry for that, but it's for me important for you to understand the meaning of what I'm showing you. So it will already be too late for me, but soon. Okay? So here, the challenge. How do you explain to these people to dig a hole that is 2 meters, has 2 meter diameter, 2 meter deep, so and put a tree that I will not see? Why should I do that? Why should I do this effort? They will not do it. But I do it because I have access to information, and I know we have to invest for the future. So we do this. Even our clients don't understand. After they see the result, they understand. And so we dig the hole, we bring pots, and this is the project very quickly showing you. What is this? It's even greener now. That is the courtyard, and that's outside. And inside, the trees are growing like crazy. Shadow, brise-soleil, Le Corbusier will say, oh, I say eucalyptus wood. And the kids, you already see this proud guy, you know. I am in the private courtyard of my classroom. What the hell, you want to take pictures now? I want to relax. You see the gesture. So it means the kids really grow with the material, with the structure, and they love it. So, or they can sit in the traditional way, lean back and just eat. This is pure joy. It's not just for the camera. And that's what we can do with our job, you know. The wind tower really works. If you come, you will see some kids taking you by the hand and talking about windsurfing. That is nothing that exists in Burkina because it's sucking, you know. The air is going automatically and very simply done. Yeah, this is the building today in the landscape, and then a conflict started. And it's growing to a big conflict, but believe me, we're going to solve it. People come to settle around the structure because they want to be close to the best school that I have. So you cannot kick them away. And some is not even that I want to send their kids inside because it's nice to be closed it. You know, look at. Just made with laterite and eucalyptus wood, not more. At night, we have light. It's a time when school finish for the adult, the parent, to come and just be taught. So doing this work, suddenly we got a call, I think it was a letter. I'm talking because I have 3 from my team here. I'm a team worker. We got a letter so that I'm invited to do a proposal for the Serpentine Gallery. I think it was Adriana that just told me. I say, yeah, Serpentine Gallery. Okay. And I just left because I didn't took it seriously, you know. So simply because I was convinced that no one is interested in what I do. And I leave for Burkina. And then Adriana just called me again to say, you know, I think you know Hans Ulbricht. I say, yeah, I know. No, this is the artist and artist promoter, but I'm not an artist. Francis is really serious. They really want you to make a proposal. Should I say you have no time, you don't want? And I check. And say, okay, if they're asking, maybe it's not a provocation. Maybe we should just write them that we're going to do it. And so we started with some ideas. I have a team. This photo is old. The team is growing, and so, you know, and we don't have, but here is Linda that was in charge for the exhibition. She's here. Andrea, and then Jaime was in charge for the eco, and they're here. I think the other members are coming, but the picture is older. So with that team, I can do more. So that is already by the celebration of the Serpentine. You don't have often the chance to celebrate. If you have it, I'll give you a tip. Just celebrate. Yeah, just do it. Because it's hard work, you know. So here again, the tree as an example. Because it's Serpentine is like Kensington Garden. And again, Africa, people just sit and relax and share. I want the community in London to go out there and celebrate themselves. So I did sketches. But really, I was sure that we'll say, okay, he's naive. So we let him, we don't take him. And then I was shocked when we got, that told me, no, seriously, we want you to do it. I was talking about funnel to collect water, a community roof, and say, okay, these people maybe don't understand. No, I was wrong. They really wanted something in that kind, you know. And we did it. So being inspired by pattern, African textile, I have heard that Picasso was inspired by African mask. Is that true? You see? So why should I not be inspired by my textile to build, you know? So again, we do a lot of mock-up. So a lot, bigs. So here, very quick, what we do to really understand what we want to do before we explain to the client, because they will put a lot of money inside. At least we do, and if it's good, we go over to do like real. Using wood is almost like Gando. With the difference, he has a helmet, very strong shoes. We do it without shoes. So it's different, London and Gando. I mean, a little bit different, huh? So, and that is the structure. And it was done in Yorkshire, completely installed and then checked, because to build in London is expensive. And then in the park, labor cost is so high. And so what we can tell you from here is a little bit like what we're doing in Gando. We use tin element to save money, and then they did it. They accept to do like we wanted. And they're very, if you have a chance that give you a commission, you should not hesitate. You should do. But I warn you, they're so demanding. But at the end, you will celebrate. Huh? So that's what we did. That is the project. So day of the opening. So what we did is to create a little gathering space for community. And so we had to explain that we want people to use the building. I will be shocked if I just take photos. I wanted people to sit and lean back and create a little playground for kids. And then afterward, it's good if you pass around and you see kids just using it. You feel like in Gando, you know? Yeah. The parent can sit together, discuss. I was really surprised to see people sitting and start to engage in the dialogue. So, and there was a bar. Good. Normally it is done, but my office is now in the transitional time. So from Gando to Burkina Faso and to Africa, which is a big challenge. But I love challenges. But the bigger challenge is there is some commissions that are too big, you know, and sometimes with a lot of problems. Sometimes you already know it will never work. But what you do as a designer, that's what our teacher told us, just to come with the vision. And for the moment, this is like a big part of what we're doing. This here is one example of it. There was a revolution in Burkina, 2014. And I was unhappy because I left when they started. I was, oh, what a pity. I'm already in the aircraft. They don't let me out. I would have loved to take these pictures myself, but people died, by the way, a lot of people. So it happened because the president wanted to change the constitution that make him lifelong president. So the young people that now have access to internet and information says, no, you cannot rule 29 years and try to rule longer than that. It's impossible. So they burned down the Parliament House, and that is the moment where I appear. And I was contacted to help with an idea how to rebuild a new one, which is transparent, which is open, which is welcoming, which has an educational center, and a lot of things. I say, okay, it sounds like impossible, but I cannot say no. That is the problem in my place. If you say no, they will win you because they will keep talking, and your mother will hear about it, which is not good for an African, that you behave bad and your mother know about it. We don't do that. So they will say, you are famous abroad, and you refuse when the country is calling you to work. And no one, that is a big drama in Africa. So I said, yes. And with the team, I said, okay, I have an idea. Let's make it so complicated so that I go to present them, they will kick me out, and I will come, we keep building our nice school and doing pavilions. That was the plan. And we start to work. So how to choke them? Say, you don't do a parliament house like France. You have no money to do like in France, but you don't say like this. You have to find another way to communicate. You say, why we don't go back to the roots? Why we don't build a big tree? That is the Parliament House. It is already there. What do you want? That is one idea that you already know. They will say, Francis don't want us to be developed. The European has made a brainwash to him. Now he wants us not to be developed. That is an accusation. What I did is, with the team, to create first trees, and then a pyramid. In this pyramid, so we want to grow agriculture, not plant, not a contemplative garden, no. Every tribes in the country should be allowed to have a little plot on the House of the Parliament because that will reunite, that will bring people together. That was the idea. And then grow and show the different way to grow. So the other idea is if you connect people, if you get them to be part of it, if you involve them, by the next revolution, they will not burn the Parliament House. They will enter and take the politician out. They will protect. That was an idea. And then another idea was to raise perspective. So in Burkina is flat, like Holland, but no water. So, and no one has seen higher than 25 meters, really. It's difficult because we have low-rise buildings. And here, we wanted people to come and use the platform of the pyramid to discover their own city. That wasn't a trick. So, and we start to design. And with this, I went to Ouagadougou hoping that the parliament president will say, okay, so you are a real dreamer. Goodbye. And I arrived. And the commission that has to check the project before they allowed me to talk to the parliament president, just check and say, Francis, believe us, no ruler, no ruler. They didn't say Burkina Faso. No ruler in Africa will accept a house like this. You want to climb on the top and look at them down? No, that will never work in Africa. So the German, yeah, they can do that. Really, someone told me this. I say, okay. They was watching to me, hoping I will be sad. I wasn't. I feigned to be sad. Oh, we put a lot of work or so, etc. But deep in me, I was really happy. Then I met the Parliament House president. And he checked it, and turned. Monsieur Keré, Mr. Keré, I love your design. And I sit, and my face was not smiling. I couldn't. So what? He loves the design. That is a catastrophe. So he turned, and but you have to make it smaller. What I didn't want to do is now happening. So we redesigned it. We did a lot of things. It took us a lot of time. And then there was that is it. I mean, so just a place to celebrate with a lot of ideas to use the conference hall as a, a meditative area because they wanted to have a memorial for those that died. A lot of, all of these ideas. But then to find the money was not easy. Then we came across the idea, I think it was Andrea, taking a picture of Obama, cut it and put with the parliament president, So, in Burkina, they showed these pictures, and it was sure if we build this house, Obama will come to visit us. So, in this term, I have become a slave of my own idea because it's a lot of work we had to push, and we put Obama in, and the parliament president was proud. He even came to Berlin to visit, to talk about the project. But then suddenly, I came to the office, and we knew about it. And I think it's Andrea again informing me, Francis, we have a big problem. In Burkina, they need a new picture because there is a new president in the US. We have to change the picture. That's what we did. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Can you answer some questions?
Yeah.
Si hay preguntas, por favor, Francis está dispuesto. Podéis hacerlas en español o en inglés, como prefiráis. Adelante.
Hi, hola.
Thank you so much. How do you provide funds in Africa, especially like through NGO or like private funds, like?
That is the key issue. It's not easy. The money is always a struggle. Today I can tell you, it sounds easy in my case, but it was a long, long way to that. And you have to knock to every door you can. And in my case, when I was a student, I was lucky because when a lot of teachers discovered what I was going to do, they were so supportive, and then everyone was giving you an advice. It's not easy. But then I was forced to create my own association, which is called now Keré. It's Schulbausteine für Gando e.V. You understand it? Schulbausteine für Gando e.V., which was focused to build a school. And it's German, it means bricks to build a school in Gando. Very long. Not fancy, And a couple of years ago, people told me, Francis, you have to change the name. No one connect the name of the foundation with the success of your architecture. If you put, maybe Keré Foundation is going to be easier. Keré Foundation sounds really like almost sexy. Yeah. But believe me, it's still hard to get the money, really. And then you feel that I'm privileged. I didn't want to make a show here. I'm really, really privileged. So, and today even more because people see the work that I'm doing, and people can tell you that we don't ask no one for money. We fight to build a project and save money to build our project, which is not easy. But then we have some people that just really come to the office and say, I don't like to say it, but say, we like what you're doing, and we believe that is the future, and we give you money. But you have to fight. It's a long way. It's not easy. You have a good one, you have the president, knock to the doors. The important thing is never give up, really. Never, never give up. It's important. It's not me saying that. You know, when I finished to build a school, I came to Berlin just to earn money. I was still a student, and I was taking care of an exhibition. It's about tearing down the Palast der Republik. It's a palace of the Republic in the East Berlin, and just build a new one. And there was a lot of proposal. And I was checking this, and I said, wow, what a world, like monumental things. And I had like this little tiny school. Hey, honestly, that time, if you tell me that I will be here standing in this great school and talking to you about architecture, I would say you are a dreamer. But that happened. You have to believe in yourself. It's important. And you will find the money. Okay? Don't give up. There is no solution but fight. Okay?
Muchas gracias. ¿Más preguntas? Adelante.
Okay, I have a question about how you see the future in architecture, because like what your architecture, what we have learned is that it's really done in Africa and it works really well. And how would you take like all those techniques that we have learned from you and that kind of buildings and everything, and like because cities are getting bigger and bigger, and how would you mix like that architecture with the modern life in Occidental cities?
Yeah, I mean, that is a big question. So we are in the transitional moment in my work with the team we're doing. But I have to say, first, I see positive in the field of architecture. So it depends on you. How do you see this future? If you want to run after the trend, you know, that there is a fancy building in Villa Grande, and you want to do that, then it's not a good future because everyone can do that. But I think we architects, if we lean back and we check, that is the time when it is difficult and almost impossible. There is time, if you can do something, you will be the game changer. So I will say that what we do is an attitude. So the pavilion we did in the Serpentine, I was shocked to learn that more than 10 people from all the 5 continents, they wanted to have the project. And now it's recorded, that's why I have to be careful. But even the mayor, Bloomberg, wanted to have that pavilion, really. He wanted to have it in London, and we couldn't. You know why? Because it's not made to support snow. So that's what you have to just take these skills, and you have to find a way to adapt. And here, it is still the way to adapt, really. The office is now working on several projects here, and I didn't want to waste your time to talk about how much thing we're doing. But it is about an approach, it is an attitude. So if this attitude is clear, you will be able to deal under every climate conditions. So think about the environment, think about the limited resources that we have, and then that is already the beginning. So you will then, if you build out of glass here, you have to think about the cold wind in winter, you know, pushing you to heat inside. If you think about it, you will make the change.
Okay, thank you very much.
¿Más preguntas, por favor? Ahí, está muy lejos, no sé si te llegará el micrófono. Si a lo mejor no te llega, puedes hablar fuerte.
Cry, and we're gonna dance. Yeah.
No, better? I've just missed one thing, and it's to know what was the cost. We've been talking about money. Yeah. I would like to know how much in euros or whatever in US dollars per square meter have cost any of the schools you've built, and we really loved them in Burkina Faso, for example, because it's in order to have an idea of if we can work with low-cost technologies in order to reach those results.
So
Thank you very much.
First, using local thing, you need time. And in the West, time is like very expensive. So it's you to know how do you start and when do you do. But in reality, the first school that I did cost at that time $50,000 US. It was 2001. $50,000, everything included. And then a couple of years later, 2 years later, 2006, that was my very first commission in Dano. It was out of laterite. And then the entire, it was four classroom plus an office. Very well done. And that time it was 70,000 euros, that time already. But then including even my honorarium. And I was explaining to Luis that I was shocked later in 2008 when they did an exhibition about this project, trying to replicate just one classroom in Berlin in the Foreign Ministry. And this little box cost 120,000. And I was shocked. So I say, hey, is the money for 2 schools? Hey, come on, give me the money. But you can't. Show is part of the thing. But I think if you are really deeply interested in square meter cost, that is long. We cannot just talk about this here. We can do, but it's about where you are and how you deal with. And so, I mean, yeah?
Yeah, perfect. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Ahí en medio, por favor. Bajáis el micrófono.
Here, the lady.
Good afternoon. I'd like to know your definition of sustainability.
I don't see you.
I'm here.
Ah, okay.
El micrófono ha ido a otro sitio.
Your definition of sustainability. What's sustainability for you?
My definition of sustainability. Definition of sustainability. I mean, it's very, very delicate. So if you allowed me, I will say Luis and the teacher, they can't just interpret it very nicely. You know what I do? I'm honestly, with, you know, so about all of this, I don't care, really. If you really do the good things, that is what we have to do. If you consider the material, if you are aware that our resources are really limited, even America cannot afford to go somewhere and take it away anymore. I'm sorry to say that. So, my American friend, how are you? Good? So, but what I want to, we have to be aware about it. And then if it helps protect and save the environment for future generation to come, then it is sustainable. If not, it's not. And if you do an air con in a desert where there is no resources and using a big generator to constantly just run an air con, it's almost a crime. And then we architects, we have to find a way to do this. And then it's about design. How do you design? What kind of material do you use? How is the thickness of the wall? That's why I tell you there is plenty of things to do. Really. Yeah?
Muchas
and this,
gracias. Un momento que hay
Marta,
una palabra.
la chica a mi lado tiene una pregunta.
¿Puedo preguntar?
Perdona, tenemos una palabra aquí, otra aquí después. ¿Vale? El micrófono podemos pasarlo a por conveniencia de nosotros.
I was tired. I'm tired.
In Africa, like there are many strong rains, like during the monsoon season, and I wanted to know, like, how do you do to build in monsoon seasons? Because I think that like the building, like for building the architecture, you will have to stop like for half day while it is raining, and where do you keep all the materials and everything? It really like costs so much if you build it.
Yeah.
In that system.
So you have to take all of these factors under consideration if you start to work. Indeed, you can't work even in monsoon time. Why? Because the water that is just destroying the building is needed to build also. And you see what I'm doing, like these big things that we're digging. We just do it for ourselves in Gando because we have enough fund. People that say, okay, we didn't understood you, but now we can see clearly your work. We see that like steps looking to the future, and we help you. We know you have problem with water. Okay, we help you to construct your system to collect water. So during the rainy season, so we just use it, and then we can, with the roof, even protect the building. It's like, no, it's not a problem. You have just to know. It's a problem if you want to get the population be involved. Because when it's raining, they're just taking care of their field. They're growing the food that they need. You cannot get them go away from the fields and work with you. This is difficult. But if you have a team like we have, we build, so should I tell them the truth? I mean, my people even work on Sunday and Friday, because Friday the Muslim will not work. But in our things, it's like a permanent, it's an event that don't stop. At Christmas, of course, we stop because a lot of food is coming, we're going to work. So, but Musum, we say, oh, what is Musum? Oh, good, we need water, just let him come. So, no, it's like a process, but we can do it, okay? Yeah?
Hi, thank you very much for your speech. I come from Colombia, and we have a huge history, and the problem with society right now is that we want to deny everything that happened, and I don't know why we are including architecture there. So nobody wants to build how we used to build architecture there with our resources. We're just copying architecture from other places, which I think makes architecture weak in Colombia. How would you say we could just overcome that thought and just recover our architecture?
No. The fact is this fact. The mainstream, or there is a strong network for the economy, and they don't want to see things change. And I'm happy that we have you. So it's already the beginning. You have to start. You should not look and do like they used to do. You have to change the habit. That is the only way to do. And then the best way is to prove. And that is the most difficult point to start. So if you don't have a chance to build, you cannot show an example. That's why we have to look for an opportunity to set up an example. It's like we're doing. So we try not to tell you everything. So people, you even have like lately the Japanese government just sent people to go and look what we're doing, and they want to spread this idea in their own development project. And many, many people are coming. But if I didn't set the example, no one will do. When I went to my village, I was rejected. There were some people that wanted to have the school be done out of concrete, because they say a school building is something from France, you know? So, and it has to be made out of glass and concrete. So, and then the son of the chief is coming to provoke us. So with clay, it's not working. And then I had to stand, and you should stand. My experience is the girls are the powerful in every community. You have to go and start. And now great architects they're trying to do. Masantis is something, yeah? So even he sent one, Carlo, that joined this team, is like there, and the future is yours. You have to just start.
Thank you.
You know?
Y a la última que está aquí detrás esperando.
Some answer is blah, blah. Okay, good. Sorry. Oh, go. Yeah. I didn't see, I have a colleague here. So you do Mendrizo in here, okay? He's doing sustainable architecture. So.
Okay. Hi.
Ponte de pie para que te vean.
Vale. Hi.
Hola.
Buenas. I had a question because you were talking about young people. You didn't want them to go out of the country. I think it's the same here. We also don't want to go out to find a job. But we were seeing that the main people who were working are men, the ones who are doing the hard work, and the only women that I saw is the one who is peeling the eucalyptus. So my question is, how do you get the women get committed with the project?
Yeah.
And what kind of activities do they do for also them not to want to go out of your country?
So first, if you want to have the women in Burkina Faso believe in you, you have to sit on the ground. You have to sit with them. So it means you're taking them seriously. And people often, we have no time. So in my case, again, I am very privileged because I did things instinctively without having a plan. It is in my nature to try to care and just try to talk because this, my community, it was happening. It was not a plan to just do it. And I realized while doing how to convince. And honestly, the social work in Uganda will never be possible without the women. So now about the immigration. So I didn't want them to stay. It's just happening. It's like a little drop in the water, as I told you. The fact is, in these countries, the men's, the young men's, even if they're married, the family will care for their wife. And so that is the first group just to move, really. That's the first group. They can move easily. That's why the young men are going. And that's why I show this picture to talk about them. The girls in Gando, let me be careful, feel more responsible for the family. And they say, I cannot let my kids and go. And so that is another thinking. I'm not the expert of that. But for our projects now, if we go in Burkina Faso, the first group that we hire are the women. And a lot of them work. So the thing is they cannot afterward travel with us. What we're hoping is to create a big workshop in Ouagadougou where we just recruit women that just have like a regular income, which is also not easy, but the men are easy to move than the women. So that is fact. Yeah. Okay? You.
Muchas gracias. Francis tiene que irse ahora. Quiero agradecer a su estar aquí, a la Fundación Nico, representada por su presidenta, el haber organizado la exposición que se inaugura esta tarde a las 7 en aquellas zorrillas, sabéis dónde está, y seréis todos bienvenidos. Y muchas gracias, director, por acompañarnos siempre en estas cosas. Y por supuesto, gracias, Francis.
Thank you.
It's a great privilege having you here, and thank you all for coming.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I think it went very, very well.
Yeah.
Magnifique.
Merci. Merci. So, hi, how are you?
How are you?
Yeah, good,
nice
good.
to have you here.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, good. He's a colleague of mine in Mendrisio. So I still have one.